Hello YouTube and welcome. In this video I would like to do with you the unboxing of this commander deck from the set Strixhaven School of Mages, and this one is the Quandrix. So back of the box we can read: bring multiplication to the table, choose your commander and overcome both friend and foe in this definitive multiplayer magic format, team up with Quandrix and Nev and double down on tokens you create. As if creating a single giant fractal wasn't scary enough, your opponents will need to deal with two. Quandrix College. Quandrix mages are ingenious mathematicians. They study patterns, fractals and symmetries to command power over the fundamental forces of nature. They love to expand and multiply anything by manipulation and bending numbers. So this box has a deck box, a 100 deck with 17 new cards, 10 double-sided token cards, a life wheel, surgery insert and a reference card. So let's see what we get in this one. First of all, I would like to thank to Big Michael to make this video available for us. Okay, we should get everything here in this box, the deck box. Okay, nice art. So we have some reference card to this deck and a little of story also. In here we have a kind of promo card for our command, the life wheel. Here we have the tokens and our deck. So let's start with our deck. See what side it is. Okay. So let's begin with our deck. So here we have Quandrix and Nev twin casters for drops. He has a ward of 2. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many those tokens are created instead. And it is a 2/2. Crazy. Axis, Fractal Bloom, 6 drops, he has flying. First time you would create one or more token during each of your turn, you may instead choose a creature other than Axis, Fractal Bloom, and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. And it is a 4/4. Kind of hard to read with this symbol. So some reference cards, Commander's Insight, an X and 3 drops. Target player draws X cards plus an additional card for each time they've cast a commander from the command zone this game. Curiosity Crafter, 4 drops, he has flying. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever a creature token you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and it is a 3/3. Descartes Fractal Theorist, 5 drops, he has Magecraft. Whenever you cast a copy or an instant or sorcery spell, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put a X +1/+1 counter on it, where X is that spell's mana value, and for 4, target creature token can be blocked this turn, and it is a 3/3. Perplexing Test, 5 drops, choose one, return all creature tokens to their owner's hand, return all non-token creatures to their owner's hand. Replication Technique, 5 drops, demonstrate. When you cast this spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent and also copy it. Players may choose new targets for their copies. Create a token that is a copy of target permanent you control. Spawning Kraken, 6 drops. Whenever a Kraken, Levian, Octopus or Serpent you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token, and it is a 6/6. Crazy. Theoretical Duplication, 3 drops. Whenever a non-creature creature enters the battlefield under an opponent control this turn, create a token that is a copy of that creature. Fractal Harness, X and 3 drops. When enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counter on it, attached to Fractal Harness to it. Whenever a keep creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it, and it has a keep cost of 2. Guardian Augmenter, 3 drops, he has flash. Commander creatures you control gets +2/+2. Commanders you control have hexproof, and it is a 2/2. Nice card. Paradox Zone, 5 drops. He enters in the battlefield with grow counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, double the number of grow tokens on Paradox Zone. Then create a 1/1 green and blue fractal creature token. Put an X +1/+1 counter on it, where X is the number of grow counters on Paradox Zone. Huxa, Patient Professor, 4 drops. When enters the battlefield or attacks, return target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. Creatures you control with no abilities get +1/+1. You may have creatures you control with no abilities aside to combat damage as though they weren't blocked, and it is a 4/4. Sequence Engine, 3 drops. For X, tap it, exile target creature card with mana value X from a graveyard, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put the X +1/+1 counter on it, activate it only as a sorcery. Over Sympathy, 5 drops, exile all creatures. Each player creates a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and puts a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the total power of creatures they control that were exiled this way. Geometric Nexus, 2 drops. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, put a number of charge counters on Geometric Nexus equal to that spell's mana value. For 6, tap it, remove all charges counters from Geometric Nexus, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of charge counters. Remove it this way. Desolation Twin, 10 drops. When you cast this spell, create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token, and it is a 10/10. Champion of Wits, 3 drops. When enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to his power. If you do, discard 2 cards. He has Eternalized for 7. Exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token that is a copy of it, except it is a 4/4 black zombie Naga wizard with no mana cost. Eternalize only as a sorcery, and it is a 2/1. Craft Cup Burst, 4 drops, it has flash. When enters the battlefield, each token that would be created under an opponent controls this turn is created under your control instead, and it is a 2/2. Crazy. Curse of the Swine, an X and 2 drops. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token. Reef Worm, 4 drops. When it dies, create a 3/3 blue fish creature token with, when this creature dies, create a 6/6 blue whale creature token. When this creature dies, create a 9/9 blue kraken creature token, and it is a 0/1. Crazy card. Rights of Replication for drops. He has a kicker for 5. Create a token that is a copy of target creature. If this spell was kicked, create 5 of those tokens instead. Crazy deck, this one. Arashi the Sky Sunder. 5 drops. For X and a forest, tap it. Arashi deals X damage to target creature with flying. He has channel for X and 2 forests. Discard Arashi. He deals X damage to each creature with flying, and it is a 5/5. Azuri's Predation. 8 drops. For each creature your opponent control, create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Each of those beasts fights a different one of those creatures. Forgotten Ocean. 4 drops. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ocean. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ocean onto the other creatures, and it is a 0/3. Here we have Garruk Primal Hunter. 5 drops with 3 loyalty points. 4/+1 create a 3/3 green beast creature token. For -3 draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, and for -6 create a 6/6 green worm creature token for each land you control. Crazy. Hornet's Nest, 3 drops, he's a defender. Whenever Hornet's Nest is dealt damage, create that many 1/1 green insect creature token with flying and that touch, and it is a 0/2. Hornet Queen, 7 drops, he has flying and that touch. When enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green insect creature token with flying and that touch, and it is a 2/2. Hydra Brewmaster, 6 drops, 2 X's and a forest. He has a monstrosity for X. If this creature is a monster, put a +1/+1 counter on it and becomes monstrous. When Hydra Brewmaster becomes monstrous, create XX green Hydra creature tokens, and it is a 7/7. Incubation Druid, 2 drops, tap it at a mana of any time that a land you control could produce. If Incubation Druid has a +1/+1 counter on it, add 3 mana of that type instead. For 5 he has adapt for 3, and it is a 0/2. Kazudu Tusk Color, 2 drops. For each level up it is 2 drops. It is a 1/1, first level. Second to 5 level it is a 1/1 also. Tap it, create a 3/3 green elephant creature token, and level 6 or plus, tap it, create 2 3/3 green elephant creature tokens. Mana Gorger Eater, 3 drops, he has trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Mana Gorger Eater, and it is a 1/1. Rampaging Baloth, 6 drops, he has trample and landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token, and it is a 6/6. Return to the White Speaker, 5 drops, choose one, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. Non-human creatures you control gets +3/+3 until the end of the turn. Shamanic Revelation, 5 drops, draw a card for each creature you control. He has Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Teros Todon, 8 drops. When enters the battlefield, you may destroy up to 3 targets non-creature permanents. For each permanent, put it in the graveyard. This way, his controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token, and it is a 9/9. Biomass Mutation, an X and 2 drops. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until the end of the turn. Kaseto Orochi Archmage, 3 drops. For 2 target creatures can be blocked this turn. If the creature is a snake, he gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn, and it is a 2/2. Master Biomancer, 4 drops. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a number additional of +1/+1 counters on it, equal to the Master's Biomancer's power, and as a mutation in addition to the other types, and it is a 2/4. Splitting Image, 6 drops. Create a token that is a copy of target creature. He has a trance. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card, in addition to pay his other costs. Idol of Oblivion, 2 drops. Tap it, draw a card. Activate only if you create a token this turn. And for 8, tap it, sacrifice Idol of Oblivion. Create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. Exotic Orchard. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Lumbering Falls. He enters the battlefield, tap it for a green or blue mana. Force 4. Lumbering Falls becomes a 3/3 green and blue elemental creature with Hexproof until the end of the turn. Is still a land. Mossworth Breach. He has Hideaway. This land enters in the battlefield, tap it. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library. Tap it for a green mana, and for a green, tap it. You may play an exiled card with playing his mana cost if creatures you control have a total power of 10 or greater. Oran Reef of Vastwood. Enters the battlefield, tap it for a green, tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on each green creature that enters in the battlefield this turn. Temple of Mystery. Enters the battlefield, tap it. When enters the battlefield, scry 1, you tap it for a green or blue mana. Yavimaya Coast. Tap it for a colorless mana, tap it for a green or blue. It deals 1 damage to you. Biomathematician, 3 drops. When enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control, and it is a 2/2. Eureka Moment, 4 drops. Draw 2 cards. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Golden Ratio, 3 drops. Draw a card for each different power amount creatures you control. Crazy. Quandrix Cultivator, 4 drops. When enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic forest or island card, put it in the battlefield and shuffle, and it is a 3/4. Zimon Quandrix Prodigy, 2 drops. So these are the uncommons. I'm just going to read the title. Quandrix Campus, Study Hall, Rapid Hybridization, Beast Within, Kodama's Reach, Grosson Grip, Nexus Expedition, Rampart Growth, Calling Oracle. Here we have Incubation, and in the right, Incongruity. Plaxcaster Froldring, Primal Empathy, Trigon Predator, Arcane Signet, Simit Signet, the famous Soul Ring, Bleated Woodland, Command Tower, Lone War Reborn, Lonely Sandbar, Myriad Landscape, Novengin Heart of Progress, Opal Palace, Rogue's Passage, Simic Growth Chamber, Temple of the False God, Tranquil Thinker, and we have some basic forests, and of course some basic islands. So this is the deck that comes in this pack. the Quantum Quandrix deck. Now let's see the tokens. So this size we have a copy, a beast, 3/3, worm, 6/6, insect, 1/1, when flying death touch, an hydra, frog lizards, and of course the Eldrazi, 10/10, crazy. The other side, champion of wits, elephant, boar, beast, kraken, whale, fish, fractal, and that's it, 3 fractals at the end. So a lot of different creatures that we can play with this deck. So this is what I have to share with you. I hope you like it, you enjoy it. Until the next time, see you.